Beach Money.
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know
okay.
Jordan.
Oh, you don't? Yeah, it's a good guy. I was hanging with him last night.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he was in town for a mastermind, and we smoked a couple cigars up in Clearwater.
nice.
Yeah, he's got some great stories, man. He's a
No,
great
that's the
networker.
best. Like some of the moments that we've had that were like big turning points in our career doing this were not like at the events. It's always like after and like at the bar and just hanging out, and it's like, then that's where you can really like exchange phone numbers and really truly like create the friendship and relationship that you know lasts forever, man. And like I would always look back at our business, and I would look at like the clients that would come in, right? And I remember one time I looked back, and like we had like 50 coaching clients come in that year, which is like half of what we want. We usually want to bring in 100 clients a year, and um and or keep 100 like active clients. That's kind of our goal. And I looked and I was like, damn, like half of these people we met at like masterminds or retreats,
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, always like Wes hates when I say this, but I'm always like, you buy your friends in this space.
For sure.
You buy like it's such a she thinks it's a shitty phrase, but like me, I'm like, that's what you do. Like there's processes and there's things that like we've implemented over the years and we love doing them. If I had to break it down, like we try to let everybody know, like, we're not the coaches that are going to like coach you to bring you into our coaching program. Like we're the coaches that we have a coaching program because we run other businesses and it's just a smart business model. Like we run an agency, we run a school, we have memberships, like, and we have a coaching program if you want to learn how we've done all these things, right?
Yeah.
And like over the years, it's like we just paid $60,000 to be in this mastermind to learn about Facebook groups and learn about like these Facebook group campaigns, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we go into the mastermind and we're like, all right, we're going to learn about how to improve our business with this Facebook group stuff. And it helped a shit ton for us, right? But no shit, for our agency, we walked away with like 4 clients out of that.
Yeah.
That pay us $5,000 a month.
Wow. Nice.
Okay. So like, and they're some of our best friends.
That's awesome.
And so like every year, all we're doing is like, hey, what's the next mastermind we're going to join?
Yep.
Because we'll probably join James Wedmore's Business by Design. We've never been in it, but we've had clients that have come to us from it, like a few, right? So we were like, you know what? Fuck it.
Yeah.
Let's just join James Wedmore's thing. We'll go in there. We'll learn whatever we want to learn or need to learn for our businesses. But the best part is we'll come out of there with probably 100 clients.
Yeah.
Because we just joined these masterminds. And so like, I never understand truly why people like go into masterminds and don't do the true networking and community that like, they're so nervous about like trying to make their money back and like all that shit. It's like, forget that, like, if you go in and you go and be the best client you could be.
Yeah.
You get spotlights like this.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
Like, I'll never forget, bro. I told one of our coaches, I was like, hey, we're going to speak at their next event on TikTok. Okay. The irony, when I told her that, we weren't really doing shit on TikTok.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. Like people, that's the funny part is when I told her, I was like, yo, we're gonna put our head down. We're going to learn TikTok and we're going to position ourselves as like the TikTok like people. At the time, like, I don't even think we had 1,000 followers yet. We just saw an opportunity, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to put my head down and we're going to do this. 3 months later, they had us speak at their event on TikTok. I just got asked to speak again at another event in Austin on TikTok.
Nice.
And the crazy part is, like, we're not the best at it. You know what I mean? Like, we're not, we don't know much. We don't know of everything. And a lot of the shit that I don't know is really just about, I just go find other people that really know TikTok way better than us. And I'm like, hey, you want to come work with us? You know? So, yeah, not trying to make this about us, but cool conversation, guys. If you're just popping on, today we have a client spotlight on the $1 Million Coach Monday. Welcome to $1 Million Coach Monday, by the way. I'm your host, Ryan McMorris. And if you have not grabbed your $1 Million Coach guide, okay, head over to the guides. If you don't have it, just type the word guide in. That way we can make sure you have it, all right? That guide is a staple point of helping you take one step closer to building your $1 Million coaching business. And my guest today is Shane Swaney, who is one of our 7-figure impact clients. And he's been taking some huge strides towards his $1 Million coaching business. And we want to share his story today and just how far he's come, some of the strides he's making, and some of the things that he's been working on that have been leading to more clients and really scaling his coaching program. He's actually had record months since he's been working with us. It's been taking on more clients, and he's just about to launch his membership. So, I mean, just huge strides. So first, I just want to say, first, congratulations, Shane. You're one of our favorite people to work with. And I don't say that lightly, because there are some people that squeeze through that are just difficult, and sometimes we got to pull teeth, and that's just part of the game that we play. But I definitely want to shine a light on you, man, because you do make it easy to have these success stories and to end up on the wall of fame. You know what I mean? Like, if I had to share, like, this is our wall of fame. All right, let me show you this. Okay? There's people that end up on this that are doing millions a month, millions a year, and it's not an easy thing to end up on this wall. Okay, let me share this with you. Shane just ended up on the wall right here, and he's made it up on the wall. And again, if you want to make it on this wall, let me tell you, you're going to face challenges. You're going to get uncomfortable. You're going to get frustrated. You're going to be confused, because as human beings, like, you're used to doing something that is getting you a result, right? And that result may be bringing you in $1,000 a month, or that result may be bringing you in like $10,000 a month. There was a time in our life where, like, we were getting a result that was bringing us in like 40 grand a month. And a friend told me, he was like, dude, like, I watch you guys. You could be crushing it. And I was like, dude, we're good. Like, you can't tell me shit. And he was like, no, you're not. I'm in this mastermind where these guys are doing, the average income is like 200 grand a month. And so we started thinking, like, damn, maybe he's right. And then we joined that mastermind, and we got in the room with people that were doing 200 grand a month and 500 grand a month and $1 million a month and like 700 grand a month. And we got kicked in the mouth because I showed up thinking that making 100 grand a month was a lot of money. And I thought it was a lot of money. And until I stopped telling myself that 100 grand was a lot of money, I didn't realize that I was capping myself and like keeping our business from really growing, because we all have this amount that we tell ourselves is a lot of money, and you don't even recognize that you're doing it. And you're saying, like, oh man, if I could just make 10 grand a month. Well, stop telling yourself that 10 grand a month is a lot of money. Okay.
Yeah.
So Shane, Shane is a hypnotist. In our like huddle conversations, Shane doesn't know this, but we tell Shane, we can tell that Shane is like probably one of the best hypnotists on the planet. And he's like the best kept secret in that space. And the more and more that he steps out into his true ability, which if I had to call anything, Shane, it's like you owning the fact that you're one of the best on the fucking planet. That's what I'm starting to see come out of you. What do you think, man? Like, what do you think's been coming out of you since joining the 7-Figure Impact Program?
Yeah, man, it's confidence, just the confidence of working through that process you showed me and how to just get that clarity around my messaging and understanding what I'm even trying to say to people.
Right.
It just really helped me to feel better about what I was doing and what I was offering, and really know what I actually have to offer to people. And then once you have that, you can speak to that, and it's a lot easier. It makes the everything I do a lot more efficient and a lot more effective.
Yeah, I could see that. And the confidence is huge. Like, I think that's one of the most underplayed words, because it's something that, like, we hear and see every day. And it's kind of one of those things where you think that it's something else that is going to be the thing that gets you more followers, more views, more leads, more sales. But like, at the end of the day, like, people, they can smell that confidence on you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you don't have confidence in yourself, like, I'm sorry, but like, it's not going to show up. It's not going to turn into clients for you if you don't have confidence.
Yeah. And it's, the best part is that I really feel like it's a very authentic, genuine confidence, so I'm not putting on some show. I'm not, trying to be somebody I'm not and make some impression on somebody. That's been probably my favorite thing about learning your processes, is just the ability to just speak to people from the heart. And, it's not salesy. It's not anything except for just genuine conversations, looking out for people's best interests and telling them, look, man, this is what I have to offer. And if it's a fit, I want to be a fit with you. And if it's not a fit, I'm not going to just try to sell you something because I want to sell you something. And we always walk away from every interaction, whether we close a sale or not. I walk away from that feeling really good that I just did something good for a person.
Yeah. And that's the whole point. I mean, it's like, I don't think we have to make building our coaching businesses hard, I think when it comes to any business, period, like if I were to think about like our agency or our school, we just want to connect with the right people and help them make a decision that's good for them,
Yeah. Yeah. And I was just thinking, when all that stuff you were listing about, just the frustration and all that, man, that's the other thing besides the confidence. It's ironically, I'm a hypnotist that helps entrepreneurs overcome limiting beliefs and old traumas and things like that. And I thought I was going to come with you guys and, very humbly, but excited to just come flying out of the gates. And man, those first 3 or 4 weeks, I started confronting all sorts of my own bullshit that I thought I was past, that I thought was not there anymore. And, looking that in the eyes and facing it and dealing with it, that on top of having all of the systems behind me, that has really helped with the confidence and just the communication too.
Yeah. I think we all go through it, man. It's like, and I think in business, we all think that at some point it's going to go away. You know what I mean?
Right.
And spoiler alert, like, that shit never goes away.
Yeah.
Like, you think like, all right, like, whew, I crossed 20 grand a month. Like, it's going to be smooth from here. And it's just not how business works.
Yeah.
There's always going to be another step to like how you grow your business. Like right now, you're in a place where you want to get to those consistent, 20, 30 grand a month marks. And there's going to be things that you have to learn to get there. And then you realize that, what I did to do 30 grand a month isn't what it's going to take to make 100 grand a month, because now it comes down to like, running a team and, having them perform and being a better leader and like all the things. You're like, damn, it goes from like being the hustle coach to, that person has to die and you got to become the CEO,
Yeah, for sure, man. That's, yeah, you were just saying something that's made me think. Working with my clients, that's been one of the cool things, is that, whether I'm working with somebody who's only been in the, in their business for a couple of months, or, I got people that are 6 figures a month. And so much of what they're working on is the same stuff at no matter what level they're in, but it's got a different face to it. Like you were saying,
Right.
it's like you have to be a different person, but then the same limiting beliefs come up in different formats, you know. So
Right.
it's a very cyclical, and things come up for people in a way that it's like, man, you're just confronting that same thing that keeps holding you back and keep working through it.
So let's lean into a little bit about what you do, because I think that what you do is so special. I want to really shine a light on like what you do for entrepreneurs, what you do for high performers. So explain how your hypnotism works and like what it does for entrepreneurs, because I think it's, I know you talked about your bullshit, right? But
Right.
what you do is so crucial, because I think people are gonna like resonate when they hear it. They're gonna be like, yeah, that's me. Like I'm going through that same shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool. My style, I'm really proud of it. My mentor I worked with, he's a special forces guy, and he had some PTSD, and he developed his style to deal with trauma, and learning that, I thought that I was actually going to be working with military first responders and things like that. And then I just started really thinking about it. I was like, man, everybody's got trauma. And whether it's big trauma, that single event trauma with the big T, or, multiple trauma with the little t, or what I find is that there's so many things that were traumatic to us as like a 4-year-old or a 3-year-old or whatever it might have been, that like we just didn't have the resources to deal with something that somebody said in passing, and it stuck with us and really affected us. And so I realized that, that's what's holding people back. So I could apply that to this space and work with people on, the trauma really lies at the heart. And trauma sounds like such a big word, but it really is. It's something that was traumatizing to your nervous system. And it creates those limiting beliefs, that negative self-talk, and all that chatter that goes on in the back of our mind that, you either feel like you've got these imaginary handcuffs on, or you feel like you just keep running into an imaginary wall. And so that's what I do. And my style is cool because, like, it's called content free, which means we could go in completely blind. Like, you wouldn't have to tell me anything at all about what you have going on. And the way that I allow your subconscious mind to decide what needs to be released that day, and what's the priority to be let go, it allows me to basically make every single session 100% customized to you and what you have going on, without you even having to know what it is. And especially what people really like is that we don't have to get down in the weeds and really explore it like you would in like talk therapy or something else. Like, you don't have to go through if some crap comes up, or if it is some stuff that you just would rather not face again or relive through that experience. Man, I literally just say, let it go. And then it leaves, it just goes, and then you're done, and you just lighter and freer. And so yeah, it's a really rewarding process for me. And man, it's so cool to see the results and the stuff that is happening for people almost immediately.
Yeah, dude, that's, and I can't stress enough, guys. Like, just type the word facts in if you hear the sound of my voice, because I want you to understand, like, no matter how much you make, no matter how much your business grows, like what Shane does is vital to not just like your success, but like keeping it. Because I can't tell you how many times like I've faced that, like, oh man, our best month in business was $200,000, and you think like, oh man, you hit that mark, things change in your head, but then another thought comes up that you're like, man, like, what if I lose it all? Or what if I do this? Or what happens? And like, there's anxieties that just pop up all the time. And that shit could have been coming and stemmed from something that happened when I was like fucking 6 and don't even know it,
Yeah.
And the other person next to you, they didn't go through that thing, or they healed it without even knowing that they healed it, and it's not this like wiring in their head. And so like, I think we all have to realize that if there's a result that you continue to get, if there's a thing that just continues to just keep happening, like where you just, every cycle, you make a lot of money, then all of a sudden it's gone, and you make a lot of money and all of a sudden it's gone. You got to recognize those cycles and be like, yo, there's something I'm thinking. There's something that I believe. There's something that's wired in me that keeps like bringing this shit right back. And you either got to like go to fucking work and heal yourself, or what Shane is saying, like, just skip the work and let me go in there and rewire that shit.
Yeah, man, that's what I always tell people is, there's people always use the metaphor of peeling back the layers of the onion. I'm like, man, we just cut that onion in half and get right down to that shit and just get in there and get it out, man. No peeling it back. It's like, it's like mental emotional surgery on the mind.
Right. Yeah. Because when you start peeling back the onion, you're going to get all the effects.
Yeah. Yep.
of peeling, right? But if
Absolutely.
you just cut that shit, then you can skip some of that stuff. And like, I think success as an entrepreneur, you have a responsibility to like either recognize that shit or just be okay with the results that you're getting, because it is a mindset game and we attract everything that comes to us, and if you don't rewire what's in your head and start thinking differently and better and vibrating differently, then you'll likely continue to get the same results that you've always gotten. So if you're not cool with getting the results that you're getting right now, then you likely need somebody like Shane so he can help you like rewire that shit and start showing up as like the highest version of yourself.
Yeah, man, that's like what you were just saying about hitting certain levels and kind of like thinking you arrived or thinking there's ever going to be that time when you arrive. That's one thing that I love working with the really successful clients that kind of think they're already there. And it's such an eye opener for them to all of a sudden release some stuff they didn't even know was still, rattling around inside their brain. And then, they've already got everything else kind of in place. They've got their systems down. They've got their message down. They know who their market is, their target audience. And there's that last little thing that they had no idea was even in there, man. We launched that thing and they're just taking off like a rocket, man, and just going straight off. And then, one of the other cool things about it is, all this stuff overlaps, so it's like when we're working on a business, I don't promote very much about the personal stuff that I do with people, but it's all overlapping and so much stuff that comes up in a session.
Yeah. Dude, I'm so glad you said that because I was thinking the same shit, like right then and there. Like I recognize that shit when I'm like working with my oldest son. He doesn't listen for shit. Like he just, you can literally look him in the eye and he'll look you right back and you be like, he'll be shaking his head and he'll look at you and be like, yo, I understood every word. And then like 5 seconds later, you're like, dude, we just talked about it. And then I get frustrated, right? And I know that those are like triggers that like, all right, if I don't work on that with him, right, then it is going to show up in your business somewhere. You know what I mean? Because a lot of us, our business is our baby. It's like our life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I get it. I always say like cliche shit like, hey, like put God first. Put my wife first, put my kids first. But at the end of the day, like your business is your calling, it's your purpose. So like it kind of is your identity,
Yeah. Yeah, big time. And what I like to think about it too, your business is it's like, we always talk about it's like your baby, and it really is it's a relationship. You have a relationship with it and you put your heart and soul into that thing. And when we have challenges and we have trouble, heartache, you actually, people have legitimate grief over bad things, that happen in their business sometimes. And that's something I don't think people give themselves enough time and enough just acknowledge it to actually process it and treat it like it's, hey, that's not a weakness. It's just how the mind works. And you have to acknowledge that just the way if you had lost a loved one, it's the same thing, or something bad happened to somebody you care about. The same kind of stuff in your business can affect you. And there's like I said, there's just so many overlapping things that have been coming up for people.
Dude, that's real shit, man. That's real because I started looking at like I work out not to stay in shape, but I work out for my business. You know what I mean? Like, yes, I work out to stay in shape, but I started looking at like my workout isn't just to stay in shape. My workout is part of my business day. You know what I mean?
Right. Yep.
Like I take out family time because I care about my family, but like I treat that family time as if it's like I put my phone away and I'm doing that for my business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not the cause of it, but because my business is so important to me, I know that like I have to take a vacation because it's for my business. I have to do this this date night. And I know it sounds weird, so don't judge me, okay? Anybody, fuck you. But like I purposely like make sure that like, look, like I because I know if I happy wife, like I can be free to like be myself in my business. I can't if I'm worried about Wes and like our relationship, I don't show up here normal.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, one of the most powerful things I've ever heard, and I think it was T. Harv Eker that said it, but he said it over and over again in his seminars, man. How you do anything is how you do everything.
Right.
And that is so true, man. When you put your heart and soul into everything you do, it just shows, man. If you're only showing up for your business and not your relationships, or vice versa, I mean, you're leaving a lot on the table. You're just not giving your all, and you're not serving the way you can serve, and you're not making the difference in lives.
I feel you. And that's how I started looking at shit, because like, I know that like Wes got pissed at me one time. She left, and I looked at my life and my business completely different. And it was funny because when she left for a couple of days, she was like, "Oh, I thought you would just get a whole bunch of shit done." And I was like, "No, I was like a wreck. Like I couldn't get anything. I couldn't focus. I couldn't get anything done." And it was that in that moment that I realized, like, putting everything into place is giving my business the best chance to be successful. And it's like this full circle feeling. So I hope anybody gets some value out of it. All right. So Shane, tell me this, because this is a curious question that I always want to ask people. What's been your favorite part about working with the Seven Figure Impact team? Like, what's been your favorite part?
Honestly, my favorite part is you guys. I mean, you guys are awesome, and I'm not saying that just to blow sunshine. I mean, I really enjoy my interactions with you guys. I have fun, chatting with Jen and making jokes and stuff. And, it's all business, but you guys are just good people, and then like you were saying at the very beginning here, just, when you surround yourself with certain people. And that's why, I had that, we were talking about the guy I met with last night, just having people around you like that are positive, that are like-minded, but they're also good, genuine people with big hearts. And it just makes me feel good, because I was a chiropractor for 15 years, and I was in a lot of management groups with that. And there were a lot of them that were just very sterile, or you could tell it was their whole message was all about the money, and then they treated you like they were all about the money. And it was just, I don't get that with you guys, man. I can tell you guys genuinely care about me as a person, not just as my business succeeding, and not just as a client that you guys can upsell or whatever that might be. I feel genuinely like a part of your family.
And that's, it's funny, man. Like when we write out our values and like company, like morals and shit, that's the first thing. And like, honestly, dude, if we don't feel like someone is that, and they can't treat you like family and truly like love on you like family. And sometimes I'll keep it real. Like we've had to say some shit to people that we didn't, that years ago, I would have been like, like you're a client, like don't say that shit. You know what I mean? And like, that comes with it too. Like if you really treat somebody like family, then sometimes you got to tell people how it is. And the response is always like, wow, like, thank you for checking me, And that's something that like literally, bro, like I appreciate you saying that, because our team, they're amazing. Like they are like ragtag bunch, and they just work together so well. They are not like your corporate bunch of people, and they just
definitely
their family, and they allow themselves, like they love on each other, and they treat each other like brothers and sisters, and it shows when they're working with with people like you guys. So it's
for sure.
That's what's up, man. Jen, she rocks. She's the absolute best. So real quick, let's do just as we wrap this up, man.
All right.
What would you tell someone who's like on the fence about making that step into Seven Figure Impact? Obviously, it's not cheap. It's not easy, right? But like, what would you give any advice to anybody that's like kind of on the fence about working with our team?
Yeah, I would say, look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, do I really want this? Am I ready to grow? Because you guys will give them the tools and you will give them the opportunity, and they will have the chance to do it if they're ready to do it. Are they ready to take that step and be the person that they keep telling themselves that are the people they want to be? And if they really want it, man, you guys are an answer, man. You guys are definitely the team that you guys offer so much stuff, and there's so much value at it. Like you said, it's not cheap, but man, it's an investment in yourself, and there's no better investment, and you're going to get that return on the investment in so many ways. And the value goes well beyond the financial rewards, which are certainly there, as long as you're willing to implement and do the work, do the work on yourself, as well as putting in the time to learn how to do these things and get comfortable with it. But yeah, if you really want it, you can tell yourself that I really want it, and I'm willing to look at some of my own bullshit and overcome it and do what these guys tell me to do, quit making excuses. There's no reason not to.
That's awesome, man. So guys, what I want to do is I want to shine some light on Shane's next move. Okay. So he's been going up on his offer. Same thing that we're telling you guys. Like we mentioned the $1 Million Coach Guide. If you have the $1 Million Coach Guide, then go in there, and it's literally the same steps. Like if you're not in a place where you're like, I can't afford the help, then you gotta do it yourself, and that's okay, right? Literally the same steps that are in the $1 Million Coach Guide are the same steps that we take people like Shane through. He fixed his offer. He dialed in his promotional plans and like how he promotes. He's gearing up to do his next big promotion. That's going to, again, be his like second offer, which is his membership. And he's looking at places that he can scale in his business. And so if you have that guide, then go through that guide. And if you need to work through it on your own, then work through it on your own. If you need to work through it with someone in this group, then work through that shit. If you need like real hands-on support, then book a call and see if like our 7-figure impact is a good fit. But I'm excited to do this membership launch with Shane because he's been so coachable and just following the steps. And I think he's like just scratching the surface. Like we were talking about this the other day. We're like, dude, like if he can truly step into like owning his offer, like your core offer is going to be around 10,000 soon to work with you at like your core level. And I truly believe that. So if you just keep doing what you're doing, man, you're going to see really amazing shit. Guys, if you don't have that guide, then just comment the word guide. That way, one of our team members can make sure that you have it and you're working through it week to week with us while we're on the show. Inside of the group, we go through it and periodically on our YouTube videos. So that free resource alone can help you so much. If you feel like you need a game plan to make your next big steps towards your $1 million coaching business, then just type in the word impact. That way our Clarity team can help get that set up for you. All right. Make sure that you follow Shane and his journey. Amazing coach that you'll definitely want to be friends with and connect with. So make sure you send them a friend request. Make sure you say thank you for taking out the time, hanging out with us here. And again, dude, Shane, I love working with you, man. I love the action that you take. It shines through in so many ways, bro. So I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate you just being the amazing client that you are, bro.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you guys so much. You guys mean a lot to me and my family. For sure.
Hell yeah, man. It's exciting to be a part of your family, man. So again, man, much love to you guys. Y'all rock. Again, everyone, just say thank you to Shane. We'll catch you throughout the week inside of the group. If you ever have any questions on your coaching business or how to make your next big jump towards your $1 million coaching business, just post in the group and let us know, and we'll catch you on the next one. See ya. Peace. I'm out of here.